So I'm going to show you guys how to buy a domain. So you find a domain. Let's see, you want scrumptiousscoobysnacks.com. So the first thing, let's see if it comes up at all. You could look it up on Whois. It's one way to do it. So it's not going anywhere. It's not belonging to anyone. You want to make sure you do this right away and buy it because other people can go ahead and buy it. You could use GoDaddy, or you could do a Whois lookup on Whois. You will see that you can buy it. Now, you can use Whois or GoDaddy. The price is only slightly different because GoDaddy costs a little more, but it's a little easier to use. And I keep everything on GoDaddy, but however you want to do it, I don't recommend any of the services that come attached to it. So don't buy anything else. Just get 1 year. Click Add to Cart. Continue to cart. Now I happen to already be logged in. So you want to decline all that. Do not start your website for free. That all gets taken care of. Continue to cart, and then right here, as long as you have everything put in, you'll be billed. Make sure you select just 1 year, and you can click complete purchase. Now I'm not going to buy this site, but I'll show you what happens. I just a few minutes ago bought a site. So then when you log into your GoDaddy and click Domain Manager, you'll see Scrumptious Scooby Snacks right here. Or in this case, I've just bought Mark's Marketing Magic. So then what you're going to do is I use DigitalOcean for my hosting. So you don't need to touch any of this stuff. Don't worry about the renewal right now and all that stuff. Just go down here to Manage DNS. And now this is where it's important. So on DigitalOcean or AWS or wherever, there's going to be name servers. So I use DigitalOcean for my hosting. So I'll sign in. All I have to do is, you can look up DigitalOcean name servers, and they're going to be standard ns1.digitalocean, ns2, ns3. I mean, I'm going here so you can see it, but it's really that simple. So where is it so I can copy paste it? Here we go. So this basically just tells anyone going to the where GoDaddy's registering it that it should redirect to looking for this domain at the name server of DigitalOcean, and then DigitalOcean has that site somewhere. So it's just telling it where to go look for the site. So let's change the name servers. This is all you have to change down here. Is just these. Now, right now they're default. They're GoDaddy because GoDaddy wants to sell you a website, but we don't need that. We can just do this. Just make it 2. Make it 3. There's just backups in case one is down. That's basically the idea here with the. So okay, so now they're pointing to DigitalOcean. Wait a minute. This is what's going on here? I'm gonna have to refresh this. Here we go. Okay, perfect. Now it's working. So it's sending it all over here. Everything. We'll get to the mail part later. That'll be a separate video, setting up an email. But now in DigitalOcean, we are going to create a new domain here. So we're gonna go here, networking, and create a domain. Now we're switching over to Mark's Marketing Magic because we don't need Scooby Snacks. Oh, here we go. Okay, so marksmarketingmagic.com. I'm gonna add it under my project. When you have businesses, you'll be adding them under the respective businesses. So this is just saying here are the name servers it's going to receive. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to create a droplet, or basically a server. So in my case, I'm going to do I'm going to use the marketplace, and I'm going to use Wordpress. I'm going to use Docker. Oh, my mistake. Docker. Okay, I'm going to use standard. Let's go here. We don't have a lot of traffic. New York 3 is probably the best one right now, I've heard. You want these two, but not user data. One-time password is fine. Let's call it Mark's Magic. Or actually, we'll be thorough. And I'm using Docker just for repeatability. M3 Docker, so I remember which ones are what. All right, we don't need backups right now because we're going to manually back up. So let's create this droplet. Oh, by the way, when you sign up for DigitalOcean, make sure to use a referral code. You get $100, I get $100. That can be almost a year of credit if you're using the small tier website. So that's just pays for it right there. Here you can see it's loading the server, and in a few minutes it'll be done. Let's go to email. I do this. I don't like the SSH. I know how to do it, but it's just annoying. It's more steps when, you know, if you're really good at it and you're a web admin, you can do the SSH, but so let's see, it should be coming in. Here we go. So this is the key. Now, if you have a Mac or shell on your computer, you can use that. For this case, what I usually do is, just because it can be glitchy SSHing with the terminal, I usually start by logging in this way. Access the console. And the login is going to be root, and that password was in that email. So Control V. Give it a second, because even though you can't see it, it takes a minute to load because this terminal is a little slower because it's through the web. So it's going to want it again. Give it again, wait 3 seconds, and then press enter. And now let's give it a new password. All right. So now I've given it a password. Now I'm in the thing. Now this part you don't really need to know. This just shows that this is a computer. This is like a directory. It's just like your Mac if you looked at it, the main file. So we can close this. That's taken care of. In a minute I will make a video on setting that up. But the point is that's done. This is now a running server. It doesn't have Apache running on it yet, but we can start pointing stuff to it. So let's go to Mark's Marketing Magic, and let's start pointing things to it. So we want to create an A record, and we want to create it for and we're going to send it to Mark's Marketing Magic Docker. It means everything coming into here using IPv4 is going to go to that server. And then now some computers using IPv6, so we want to do this. Same thing. We want an and a star. So anything else in the, you know, www dot, or they don't put anything at all, it'll all go there. And that's just time to launch it. Don't worry about that. And oh, when we want to do encryption, we're going to also need to do this. We're going to need to do and we're just going to do let's encrypt. Actually, is it .com? It's .org. And issue, and that's all. We don't need to do anything else right now. And then later, when we do the mail, we'll do some other stuff. So in the next video, I will show you. Actually, well, we could just do it in this video. I'm going to show you how to spin up a site. So I have on here a folder. Actually. All right. Let's just do this. I'm going to just open up this script real quick. Isn't this? Oh, it must be in a subfolder. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. So this part we're still gonna want to use that that server. So here's the IP address of that server that's now running. And we're gonna just, now we can just minimize this. We don't need anything there. If you go to the site right now, it's gonna still be, there's gonna be nothing, it's not gonna respond because there's no server running there. It just points to an empty computer with the ports probably closed. So all we have to do is type SSH root, that's the login at, and then put in that IP, and then put in that password, type yes, put in that password you said. And again, you can do this on the terminal on the DigitalOcean, but it's a little glitchy because it's slow, so I don't recommend it. If you have a PC, there's ways to get terminal. If you have a Mac, this is easy, just do exactly what I'm doing. And I'll send you the scripts for your site that were developed with a partner of mine, and there's a lot more versatility that can be added to it, but you basically need 3 files. Don't worry about that. Actually, 2 files. So we're going to be, we're currently in the root folder, and that's fine. We're going to do, type nano to create a file, and we're going to call it Caddy file. All right, and then in Caddy file, you're just going to copy and paste this. But of course, we're going to change it so it doesn't say senior scorecard. It's going to say, and you're going to use your email for TLS notifications. So we're going to say marksmarketingmagic.com. All right. And then Docker, we're going to be using Docker Compose, which is like Kubernetes. It manages multiple containers. So this first thing, this Caddy file, this is just to get your encryption. This is a cool new thing called Caddy. It goes and automatically sets up your encryption, so you don't have to do all this stuff with SSH or have a web dev do it. In here, this is basically the framework. This is the blueprint for your whole server. This tells it exactly what it's going to do. So I'm experiencing a little bit of lag here. Let's see if I can copy all this good. So what this does is it says version 3 of Docker Compose. Let's get a SQL database. Let's put it on a private network. And let's give it this database as the name of the container, a temporary volume here. It should always restart, and default passwords. And then let's start a WordPress instance on another container, and that's going to be on the same internal net, and that's going to rely on database being running already. And then we'll run it to this container port, and then this is the network port. It'll just run to that container. And then that's the volume for that. And then Caddy, which is going to depend on all of the 2 running, and this is going to connect it to the internet. So 80, this is connecting to the port 80, and this one's on the private net. And it uses that Caddy file as the configuration, so it knows that's the site it wants to go get a certificate for. And then on here, these are persistent volumes, so these ones aren't going to be deleted if the server goes down. So this is where it's going to keep your actual WordPress instance. And then this is the network you're setting up. So it's really, really amazing. Control O, save it. Okay, so now we have these 2 files. We're ready to launch. All you have to do is do Docker Compose up, and you want to do -D. Otherwise, it'll take up the space in here, and you won't be able to use the command line again without opening another terminal. So let's go ahead and run that. And right now, it's downloading all of the stuff you need for your WordPress. And at the completion of this, you should have a website running on marksmarketingmagic.com, or it would be your site in your case. And then when you first go, it'll prompt you to log into WordPress and start building out your WordPress. So let's just wait a few minutes for this to complete. All right, now let's take a look. Let's see and make sure it worked. We can do Docker logs Caddy. That checks on what that Caddy container is doing. So let's see, it says it's served key, so it should be working. We can all right. Okay, couldn't fully call it a domain. Let's just check online to see how it's doing. Let's go to marksmarketingmagic.com and look at that. We have encryption, and we are ready to go ahead and install our WordPress. So I'll just take you through the last bit of it. Mark's Marketing Magic, and username will be Mark. Password. Email. Let's just go ahead and set it to the Yahoo. And we of course don't want to select that because we want it to be reachable by Google. We're going to want to be found. So that would be silly. That's SEO suicide, right? All right, log in. So now we're here. Customize your site. You know, I personally like to start with this theme. I like the 2017 theme. So let's live preview it and then we'll activate it. Activate and publish. Alright, so now let's check it out. Let's see what's going on in the site. There we go. The site is up and it has encryption and everything is good. And I don't have built with on this tab, but let's try here. marketingmagic.com. Let's just see what other things were included with this, if anything. And now you're ready to start putting up your content. You have a WordPress login, the database, and if anything happens to that server, it's containerized, so you can back up your WordPress and relaunch it on a different container. Okay, something's going on with this plugin, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, and then we can get your ClickFunnels put in here. We can put all kinds of other stuff in here. Connect it to Vendasta. And you can start making sales in the same day. Like you just had an idea, and this video's been, I don't know what, 10 minutes. You have a website now, just like that. You just watched me create it, and it's got the latest WordPress. Everything's gravy, and you can update it. It acts just like a WordPress, but it's running in a container, in a virtual machine, on a server, piped out through that server. So you really have it the most awesome way, because it's the encryption is going until it hits that Docker net, and then internally it's not encrypted. But you don't have to go on the WordPress instance and install the encryption there, which can cause issues. It's all handled automatically with Caddy. So I really like this. I also really recommend DigitalOcean because it is less expensive than AWS. And I mean, if you're doing mass business and you want more scalability, then you could use that. But I mean, for anyone, most people in marketing, especially if you're a small bit, unless you're like a major, like a Marketo or something, you're probably fine with, you could go to the $100 a month tier and you get unlimited storage and stuff like that. So you don't really need that. I think it's overkill. From a DevOps standpoint, if you're building web apps, you could use it, but for running landing pages and stuff, this is great. If you really want to see, there's other websites too, like HoboHost, but this gives you a little more power to do what you want to do. I don't like things that limit you. You know, HoboHost doesn't allow dynamic sites, so it's only static pages. If you don't like WordPress, I mean, I'm a developer, so I can build things without WordPress myself, like in HTML, but and using React and things like that. But I personally think WordPress is just great, just because if you want to make a bunch of sites, you don't have time to do different configuration things, and the plugins are all there, so it's pretty good. But yeah, this is, I'll recap now. So this is your site. Good luck, and email us if you have any questions. Mark@seniorscorecard.com or mark@blitzmetrics.com. Give me a shout, and good luck getting your site up.